Hey everyone, we're going to be talking today about one-on-one doubles. And we have Ed Krass joining us.
Can you see me?
Ed, there you are. How you doing, Ed?
Okay, Angelo, thanks for having me on today.
No problem. So I'm Angelo Rossetti, and I'm here with Ed Krass, co-founder of One-on-One Doubles. The reason why this is so timely during COVID is really helping bring back a safer version or safer versions or options for the tennis industry. And I foresee that one-on-one doubles is something that's really going to take off. It's been certainly popular over the last decade or so with a certain niche, but I could see this expanding to players of any level or gender, juniors or adults, boys or girls, or men or women. But Ed, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? I know you played at Clemson. I know you coached at Clemson, coached at Harvard with the women. But tell us about your background briefly, and then how you came up with one-on-one doubles.
Yeah, absolutely. I played my college tennis at University of Central Florida and started my coaching career there in Orlando. And then I was lucky enough to get the job with Coach Creasy at Clemson as the assistant coach in the mid '80s. And we played the game as a exciting drill in a match play format there. And then I was lucky to get the job at Harvard coaching the women's tennis team. And I had the team play practice matches in this format with a lot of serve and volley. And the women, they saw the benefits after a while because, they were actually coming to the net with a lot more confidence because of this particular game. And back then we call it the half court serve and volley drill. And I just fell in love with the format so much that about a decade later, I thought it might be great to make it into a tournament format with some USTA assistance and sanctioning. We started in Florida back in 2004.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's a brilliant concept. It reminds me a little of how dingles used to be very popular, on college campuses, but this is a more formal version and you can, monetize it. But talk about, as far as monetizing it, some of your early champions and also how teaching professionals and clubs can monetize one-on-one doubles.
Yeah, well, the tournament format I think can be great for inter-club, within clubs, for an open tournament to invite players from around the area to come play. So you have three different ways of doing it: an in-house club tournament with one-on-one doubles, and you can have up to a 16 draw, 32 draw, something in between that, and it can be managed within 3 to 4 hours. With the round robin format where everybody's guaranteed 3 short matches, maybe first to 4 games is what we've been doing over the last 15 years. So everybody gets to play everybody on one court. We've had 2 matches on one court. But, with our COVID times, maybe just 2 matches, 2 matches, 1 match per court might be good enough,
Yeah.
If that's might be a little bit safer, shall we say.
Yeah. No, I get that. And you can have people serve with their own tennis balls. Nobody switching ends, nobody touching anything, keeping 2 ball carts at least 6 feet apart from each other. It's no ad scoring, so it goes pretty quick. The format of 4, does that mean there's going to be ties on the courts and you just add the number of games, aggregate games at the end?
Yeah, exactly. So if you win all 3 matches, obviously you have your 12 games. But if you don't, you still add them all up, and usually the tiebreaker for that would be a head-to-head win to see who wins the court to go on to the semis or the quarterfinals based on how big your draw is.
Yep.
But then you can go single elimination, or you can have your own little mini tournament with the top 4 or 8 players, and a little bit of prize money is nice. It could be $100 to that 3-5 female or 4-0 male. You can have a whole bunch of different draws. you could have, a men's open even if you wanted to showcase some of the best players in the area. So we've done a lot of that with, very good professional players.
Here's a very rudimentary drawing of a tennis court. It's not to scale, but basically, you can, the player can be here and they would have to serve to the returner who's here. So basically, this would be out of play or out of bounds, there. And basically all of this would be out of bounds. So they have to only play cross court. And so the cross court alley is playable. The cross court alley is playable, but you only play across court. And so for those of you that haven't played, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, make sure you draw that middle line. Can you draw that middle line all the way through the middle there, Angelo, from the service line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes there's your boundary from one-on-one doubles. And if that's up there, then they have the official line for the tournament. On clay, we've hammered some middle lines in, or you can just do a nice straight marker back and forth.
Yeah, you draw it. That's what we do at our club. We draw the line with a sweeper, which is great because I know with 10 and under tennis, you have plastic lines, rubber lines, or you on hard true have the permanent line, or you can do the sweeper line. So tell us a little bit about the history of some of the winners. I know it has a very exciting history.
Yeah, we've had some great winners. We've had some former Grand Slam players like Michael Pernfors playing, and we've had Emilio Sanchez has played and won one of the events. The one Pernfors one was on Tennis Channel. That was really nice.
Yep.
It was a 4-man event. Emilio won an event that was Harry Chickma produced for I believe it was Nesson and Fox Sports. We had Jared Palmer won one of the events. Remember, he won Wimbledon doubles back in 2001, and that was at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center, and Whitney Kraft was the tournament director for that one. That was real exciting.
My claim to fame with Jared is I am 0-7, I believe it is, against Jared in doubles. He is a phenomenal doubles player. I've come close, but he's too good.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah, so he really enjoyed the game, and he had to pull out all different shots, and he thought the workout was great because he got to handle all those balls on the cross court angle, and between the lob and the volley and the ground strokes, he was exhausted after his 4 matches.
Oh yeah,
but he had a great time.
Tell us how this indirectly ties to Boris Becker.
Our very first tournament was 2004, and our very first entrant was a fellow named Peter Doohan, who I met at one of the National 35 tournaments. And Peter wrote me a nice 2-page letter, handwritten, with a $45 check for the entry fee, and said, "Ed, I'm coming all the way from Arkansas to Tampa for your tournament. I really appreciate somebody finally running these tournaments with, because it's right up his alley, so to speak." And so he was our first seed, and the Tampa Tribune did a front page article about it. And he came down and he lost in the second round. He was a little upset, but he still took me out for a cold beer that night.
That's incredible that Peter Doohan would lose in the second round and not win. It shows the quality of the events, but also the unique format. So tell us a little bit about how clubs and pros could implement this at their facility.
Yeah, I think that it would be great if they would contact us. We can kind of guide them through how to do the tournament, how simple it is. We can advertise for them on our website. We do a little licensing fee of $90 per tournament. We give the USPTA pros a 25% discount on that. And they can charge whatever they want for the tournament, and hopefully they can, make a couple $1,000s within 4 hours. Depending on how big their facility is, if they just want to entertain different groups of people with this format, with the tournament, they can figure out how much money they they need to make based on the court space, you know, and what the entry fee should be. Yeah.
That's great. So I see that as being, as tennis, you know, gets back to normal or back to the new normal, the safer normal, I could see this being a revenue stream for teaching pros and clubs alike. What I did at our club, we have 6 hard true indoor courts, 6 outdoor courts. But on the indoor courts, on Tuesdays, we have a very large USTA women's point play team practice clinic. And the last half hour of it, we play doubles typically. And when there was 2 odd people that were couldn't play doubles, they didn't want to play singles, so I had them play one-on-one doubles, which is just cross court. And it worked on the mid-court game, it worked on the net game, it worked on the backcourt game. It, you know, and I could see you modifying the rules based on the level and interest of the participants. You know, you have to serve and volley on the first serve, or even more difficult, you have to serve volley on the second serve, or the returner has to return and volley on the second serve. Or you can make it optional entirely. But I like the idea that you've used where you can get 2 points if you hit a winning volley or a winning overhead. It doesn't necessarily have to be a clean winner. But yeah, that incents the scoring, then incents people to come to net and work on their volleys. And from a coaching standpoint, from my standpoint as a director, you know, I love when people practice new skills.
Oh, yeah. Well, the serve and volley is optional now, and thanks to Tommy Haas, he gave me some great ideas. But I think for the club players, if they start to see some banners being hung up around the club, which we can give the artwork for each club director can hang up a banner so they go, oh, what is one-on-one doubles? Well, let me let you read more about it here, and we're going to start some tournaments in another 2-3 months and get you. And it might be a nice new format to make a little extra money on the teaching clinic side to get people ready for the club tournaments. So it's a whole new revenue stream, I think, for them. And then what we can do is we can let that club player get some international exposure by putting their pictures up on the website, the finalists, and publicize the entire draw sheet. So, I mean, it can really grow. You know, you get some people that might want to get behind it with some sponsorship money. And before you know it, you have a whole nother revenue stream outside of your singles and doubles.
I think that's wonderful. So how can people find out more as far as contacting you?
Sure. Our website is oneononedoubles.com. Spell it all out, ONEONEDOUBLES.com. And our phone number here is 813-478-3384. We're in the home of Tampa Bay, where Tom Brady signed, and Gronk. And I know all the New Englanders love our team now.
Yeah.
So let's hope we have a football season, right?
Oh, I know.
But they can call me, and I can definitely help get their tournament sanctioned on our website and help them. And we can also get if they would like to sign up with the USTA in their sections. I think that would be wonderful as well. And we've got a nice relationship with the USTA, and I think they are excited to see how the game can grow organically amongst the club players and the club pros, you know?
That's great. Well, this is great. And I coach the mindset and mental skills a lot. I have my new book, Tenacity, the Tenacious Mindset, on and off the court. And I could see one-on-one doubles being a mindset drill. You have to be more patient because the point lasts longer. You got to get out of your comfort zone if you don't like coming to net. There's a lot of things. You got to be able to control your placement and not hit it out down the line. So I see it as a really great training tool as well. But Ed, thank you so much for your time today, and you know, good luck with promoting this. I'll put all of your contact information below so people can reach out to you. And if anyone has any questions, you can contact Ed directly, or you can email me, angelo@tenacitywith2ends.org. But again, be safe, and thank you so much, Ed, for helping me grow the game.
Oh, without a doubt. Thanks so much for having me on, Angelo. Really nice talking to you today.
Yeah, likewise. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot now.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.